Hey y'all, I thought I'd do this quick video before the undercard kicks off, which I think it kicks off right about now. But as you guys know, Anthony Joshua is set to take on Alexander Usyk in a rematch for the unified heavyweight titles, along with the Ring Magazine and yes, the Lineal Championship, which was vacated by Tyson Fury. In fact, TBRB, which is the platform that recognizes the legitimate champions in every division in boxing, they no longer recognize Tyson Fury as the champion. So whoever wins the fight tonight will become the recognized heavyweight champion of the world, which I do expect to be Alexander Usyk. But let me get to the point here. I want to do this video because it makes you wonder about Anthony Joshua's psyche at the moment. It makes you wonder, is he actually playing mind games to throw everybody off track, or perhaps his opponent off track like Alexander Usyk? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because, as I recalled, and many of us recalled, he didn't really have this similar behavior leading up to the Andy Ruiz rematch. Yeah, he may have been a little nervous, and there's some bit of anxiety, or which Joshua has, which has been proven that Joshua does suffer from a bit of anxiety and overwhelming. He feels overwhelmed about certain pressures, whatnot. But the only difference with the Andrew Ruiz situation and this particular situation with Usyk is that Andrew Ruiz, I'll openly admit it, that Andrew Ruiz beat Joshua, pretty much in a fluke situation, where he landed one good punch and that changed the course of the fight. But in the case of Alexander Usyk, Usyk dominated Joshua from the start to the finish. And that was a clear concussive victory for Alexander Usyk. So this is a different situation. Now, there has been recent reports and findings that Joshua has been going out there making, I'm sorry to say this, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, excuses on how he lost the first fight. So first, he's openly admitted that I got beat by Usyk as a better man. Now he's coming out making excuses 5 days before the fight, saying that I lost to Usyk because he's a Southie. He's a nightmare of a southpaw to deal with. If he was an orthodox, I would beat him. Well, it's funny for him to say that because he didn't complain about southpaws when he fought Charles Martin for his first world title. He didn't complain about fighting southpaws when he beat Zhuli Zhang and Otto Wally in the amateurs back in the day. So I don't see, basically, again, if you're going to call out Deontay Wilder for all his bullshit excuses, yeah, his excuses is not on the level of Deontay Wilder's, but at the same time, excuses. You're trying to dismiss the fact that your opponent got the best of you in their first fight, and he did it in a dominant fashion. So yeah, you need to call that out if you're an AJ fanboy. But needless to say, though, furthermore, he did recent interviews talking about he's not sure if his conditioning is well enough for the fight, which is bizarre. And then he's not sure of himself that he can win it. Then you have his training team, which is still a bizarre situation. We don't even know who the head trainer is. You got Robert Garcia and Angel Fernandez, who's coming out and saying, making statements as if they're not keen or believe in the fact that Joshua could pull this off. And yet you have Spencer Oliver, who's a pundit over at Sky Sports, who gave an interview with TalkSport about 2 days ago and said that Joshua is in a WhatsApp group along with Spencer Oliver, who's involved in that group, and he's asking everybody outside his training team advice about how he should beat Usyk 48 hours before the fight. I'm like, that reminds me of another Clifton Mitchell situation, which is bizarre. So it leads me to ask the question, and you have to ask yourself this question as well. Is he actually playing mind games to throw his opponent off track? Could he pull something out of his sleeve, or out of his hat, I should say, that he can actually pull this off? I mean, it's a possible. As I was saying, nothing is out of the realm of possibility. Who knows? Maybe Joshua is stringing us all along, but I do have to defer to the fact that Joshua has admitted to the fact that he has mental challenges, which is why he always seeks out guidance or advice from a sports psyche, which is all documented. So if anyone says that Joshua doesn't have mental challenges or mental issues on situations under, how dealing with situations under pressure, then you're fooling yourselves. It is documented. He does have those issues. Not to say that he cannot come through it. He's come through it many times before. But I guess given the fact that there's way more intense pressure than he's ever faced before, and given the fact that he's a significant underdog, then yeah, that's telling. So could he be stringing us along? Could he be trying to string Alexander Usyk along? And now let's not get it twisted now. I like Usyk's team and his approach on this fight. They're not taking this they're not taking Joshua lightly. They know that he's going to make adjustments. They believe that he's going to come out all swinging, and they're going to be prepared for that. In fact, they were prepared for that in the first fight. So whatnot, they'll be ready for whatever onslaught that he's going to bring. Now, on the other hand, now you have Joshua who's saying that, you know what, don't be surprised if he said that I'm prepared to go 12 rounds. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's psyching us out. He's stringing us all along. Maybe he's going to push forward and try to get Usyk out later than 5 or 6 rounds. It's hard to tell, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. As I maintain my position, I think Usyk's going to win this fight by a dominant decision. So let me know what your thoughts are. I'm out.